Yes. Neal Brennan here. Hi. That's Finesse talking in the background.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Neal Brennan has one date worth promoting. It's New Year's Eve, guys. My annual New Year's Eve show in La Jolla at the Comedy Fit. Never done it New Year's Eve. Well, La Jolla, California, at the Comedy Store. New Year's Eve. It's great. My favorite room in the world.
I think it might be one of the best rooms in the country.
Yeah, I will be there New Year's Eve for 2 shows. Please come.
I will be in San Francisco. This is Moshe. I will be in San Francisco, California on New Year's Eve at the Nob Hill Masonic Auditorium. And just before that, right around Christmas time, I'll be coming to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, to the Comedy Bar on December the 21st. And then I'm doing a show Thursday and Friday, but it's there at various venues. So call the Comedy Bar, comedybar.ca. And then January 17, 18 at the Charleston, South Carolina Footlight Playhouse as a part of their comedy festival. Should be fun. January 30th through the 1st, Atlanta, Georgia, at the Improv. Finesse?
Thank you, fellas. Thank you for having me first.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to say that New Year's Eve, I will be at the E1 Sports Club venue / comedy club. That's brand new, and it's in the Oakland area.
California, ladies and gentlemen.
Bay Area, New Year's Eve, Oakland. Come check me out at E1. Just Google that.
You know what I'm going to say about New Year's Eve? Just make your fucking plans now.
Make them now.
If you like one of us, just go make plans so you don't have to fucking worry about it anymore.
The difficult thing is going to be...
You can just tell your girl, we're going to E148 to see fucking Finesse.
And then
we're going
your girl
to
will say, no, I want to go across
I
the bay
want
to see
get
Moshe,
pretty.
and you guys are going to have to figure it out.
Oh, you're going to be in for it? That is a tough decision.
That's a hard decision.
Don't decide maybe after the end of the episode.
Right.
And lastly, I want to say, if New Year's Eve, you have plans, but you're in the Houston or San Antonio area, January, Houston Improv, January 15th. That's a Wednesday, hump day. Come on out. One show only. And San Antonio, Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club, the LOL Comedy Club, January 17th through the 19th. I'm done.
I thought you were going to promote somebody else's dates.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
For a second, when you were like, if you're going to be in San, my man is going to be down there.
Speaking of somebody else, I want to say quickly before we begin the episode that Native American comedy groundbreaking legend Charlie Hill. You may not know who he is, but he's was the first Native American on television to do stand-up. He did stand-up on the Richard Pryor show. He's very ill.
Okay.
And his family needs money to help with his sort of care right now. So if you go to everribbon.com and look up Charlie Hill, or just look up Charlie Hill donations, go out there, make a donation.
Ever Ribbon?
Ever Ribbon. It's a charity, kind of whatever. Anyway, he's a funny dude, a good dude, and needs our help. So help him. Let's start the episode.
But seriously, come see us New Year's Eve, guys.
Let's get back to New Year's Eve.
You?
I'm good, man. I got another I can't tell you two apart comment. I haven't had one in quite a while because I feel like our
people can't tell me and you apart?
Yeah, and I was like, what do you want me to do, man? You know? Just deal with it.
You
got
We're clearly both narcissists.
Yeah.
We were like, you know who I want to do a podcast with?
I'm the one
the guy who sounds exactly like me.
This week's guest.
You
may have seen him on Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You may have seen him on other stuff.
You're on a Disney Channel show, right?
Yes, sir. It's called Ant Farm.
You might have seen him on the Ant Farm.
Yep.
It's live action.
No.
Animated.
Yes, live action. I didn't know what live action meant.
There's people in it. So probably if you
it's
got
not
kids,
animation. No.
If you got kids, I'm assuming kids are watching Ant Farm.
Absolutely. All you have to do is say he's the cop or he's China's dad on the TV show Ant Farm. Kids go crazy.
Do they? Oh, it's Finesse Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen.
Finesse Mitchell,
absolutely.
Yeah.
They go crazy for that show, man.
Really? So kids are sweating you all the time?
As you talk to me, I'm going to find footage so you just don't think I'm lying. But I go to the airport, and it's never the type of fame that came from SNL because, a lot of people don't it's not. But this Disney Channel show, moms, dads, and kids, black, white, what did you say, Native American?
Yeah,
all
Native
that.
American.
What was that term you used, Moshe?
It was Native American.
Native American. Yeah, so it's a hit show, and we just finished our third season, so We'll see if it's coming back. And
is it frustrating as a stand-up that you are getting famous in a demographic that literally legally cannot
go
see
to
your
see
stand-up comedy
You know
shows?
what? I'm going to say it how Bob Saget said it to me. The people that come see me grew up on me.
Right.
So by the time they are, because they're like 13, 14, 15.
Right.
Because that's the demographic. Plus, they're the babies. But the 13, 14, 15 right now are watching Disney Channel because the shows are pretty cool.
And I can say from experience, Kenan Thompson still gets like all that and
way more
Kenan and Kel love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like it's not ironic, but it's a bit like, holy shit, dude, like you were. And because it's Kenan here, did I ever tell the Kenan Thompson
to pull up what show he was on?
All that and Kenan and Kel.
No. Oh, okay. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I literally thought you were making words up.
Still comes on.
Oh no, yeah. Kenan Thompson. This is what a good guy Kenan Thompson is. We're going to take a sidebar right now and talk about Kenan Thompson.
Sure.
So when I wrote for all that, I always thought like he's good, like he's actually good.
You
like
wrote for the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, It was my second job in show business.
Oh, cool.
1994. I'm super old. Anyhow, the Kenan. The cut to nowadays, our friend Kevin Christie, friend of ours, is friends with Kenan, and Kevin's email got hacked, and they sent out one of those things like, "I'm in London." And I can't, and I've been mugged.
I've been mugged.
Yeah. And then, so the next time Kevin saw Kenan goes, "Hey man, sorry about that. What happened to you in London? But I hope you got my money."
Shut up. He did it?
Kenan Thompson is such a good guy and such a pothead that he actually thought that's probably most of it.
Dude.
He's such a good. He actually sent money. For Kevin Christie.
Let's get paid right now. I feel like
Kenan, we're in real trouble.
I want to say
hustle
that
Kenan
I have
now.
Actually sent that message to Kenan 3 times,
Yeah.
and he responds.
Where's my goddamn
He
money?
always deposits the correct amount.
You only do it when you really need
when
it.
I
It's like,
really
Finesse,
need it.
man, bad luck. Why do you keep going to London?
I know. At this time, guys, I'm going to show you footage from me just visiting my mom's school because she's a school teacher. I just ran in to say, "Hey, Mom, here are the keys. I'm dropping them off." But the bell rang, and all the kids came out in the hallway, and now all of this noise that you're about to hear.
People freaking out.
Those are kids.
Oh, they are freaking out. If you could see it right now, they're all just waving pieces of paper in Finesse's face, trying to get an autograph. And that's your mom.
And that's my
So it's not even like some random person. It's like they know they can get to you again.
Right. So now I'll never go up.
You're married?
Am I married?
Yeah.
Yes, I am married.
All right. I was going to say.
I got married 2 months ago.
Okay, because I was going to say you're throwing away a lot of future.
Finesse, let's switch mics. I think that'll be more comfortable.
I don't want to say you're throwing away a lot of future pussy, but you know, throwing away a
why
lot
would
of
you say that?
future.
So you just saw him walk into his mother's elementary
guys-
school.
you guys see a problem.
You guys
see chaos.
You're missing out on that future.
You guys
pussy.
see chaos
That's what
and
Neal
problems.
said,
I see opportunity.
See?
That's the difference between you fucking fool, you square ass,
That's
corny
square
ass
people that
fools.
Look at small children and just
Squares.
think they're adorable.
And we think
Squares.
wholesome.
and a visionary like
And Neal thinks
Or their moms.
I can get my dick sucked.
yeah, in like 10 years.
Or their moms.
In 10
and
years.
their mom. Now it's their mom.
Well, I went to moms, but it's not as funny with moms. It's
Dude,
everybody knows pedophilia.
Speaking of crazy pedophile stuff, I saw this special last night. There is a prison I think it's in California actually, where it's basically convicted child molesters who made a plea bargain. So they basically were like, "I'll go to prison for 10 years and then you release me on parole." And they built this mega complex. When they released them from prison, they were like, "Surprise! You're actually going to be put into this complex until we decide you can get out." So it's people that have already been convicted, served their time, but because of like what child molestation means, they're just locked up basically. Sort of like forever.
Like Arab people.
Like Arab people.
It's called Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's called Guantanamo Gay. Does that do anything?
I'm not. Look, you're turning this into a gay issue. Here's the question that I've always. I said it on stage one night and I got zero support, but I have empathy for child molesters,
why did
and
you
I'll
not
tell
get
you
support
why.
on this?
I'll
It
tell you
seems
why.
like a really
because
standing ovation topic.
They're not doing it to fucking ruin a kid's life. They're doing it because they're sick.
Right.
So if you have that, think about what you're attracted to. Right. Think about 1 a.m. when you're single and you're like, you got the heat for something. Mm-hmm. You start texting people. Imagine, and then you're like, some nights you'll come to your senses. Some nights you won't.
Here's the problem with your argument.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
There's two.
I'm second.
What do you do? You think okay. Put yourself in their position.
No. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Because it's not like you chose to be attracted to straight white girls.
There's 2 areas of being like a child molester.
Mm-hmm.
One is that you're attracted to children. I would say potentially you can't help that. Maybe you're dropped on your head. Maybe you're abused as a child. Who knows? That's a thing. The other is that you decide to go ahead and get with the children, which you know is wrong, and you know is maybe you've convinced yourself it isn't. But that part where you activate that instinct in you, that's the part where you lose. That's where the rubber
right. But I don't
road.
think about the things in your life. You're a drug addict.
Right.
You didn't want to do drugs. You didn't know that. You knew that it was wrong.
Sure.
But yet you were like, fuck. Think about that switch where you were just like,
Yeah, but I'm still responsible for it, I think. You know, it's like,
I agree. I'm not. No. I'm not saying they're not responsible. I'm just saying
as far to take a child's zipper and take it down. And
the way you said
say it
zipper
slower
was,
though.
For a
Say it
child's
slow.
zipper and take it down very slowly and gently, and
Jesus.
nothing in those clicks of the zipper going down stops you and say, "Hey, I can't do this.
Can't do it."
If you keep going and you're like, "Hey."
I mean, yeah, I think that's the problem. The problem is when they do it. It's like, yeah, I guess
you can be sick all you want to, but when you actually do it, now you're fucking
right.
criminal.
No, I get it, but what things?
You.
How many things have you really wanted to do that were sexual that you didn't do? My experience is you can not do it a couple times, but eventually you're just going to do it.
I mean, I know what you're saying on one level, which is like, thank God we weren't fucked up to whatever degree it is that we became.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm making some heavy assumptions with both of you because I don't know.
We appreciate it.
All I know is me.
I mean, you guys both make very good points, but I doesn't make me not. I think that most of them were molested, and I don't think that I literally think they can't help it. What do you do? Do you chemically castrate yourself?
Well, this is where it becomes interesting because that brings us to this idea like what is evil? Period.
Right.
Forget child molestation.
I would say Hitler had a point of view. Hitler did. Hitler had a point of view.
Brought out, Moshe, is that I couldn't. After I served my time, I'm actually expecting to get out. Don't put me in another facility when you say, "Ha ha, psych, you're not free," because then I'm gonna be pissed off.
Did they say it before? Did they? I mean, they said, "Is this part of their sentence?" Or is this? Right. Did they do?
This is part of their parole. They're being paroled in a secondary facility, but that's not parole. They're still in prison. It's much nicer than prison.
I think rapists should. I was going to say I think rapists should, when they get let go and they are rapists aren't identified as sexual predators. Or is it the
I don't think they are. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
interesting.
Child molesting the kids now they are identified when they move into your neighborhood.
You have to.
But if you rape somebody and got away with it, or you went to jail for it,
I don't know the answer.
You just
to that,
out
actually
out
in public doing your thing. I guess or not doing your thing.
Yeah,
hopefully not do. I mean,
I hope nobody gets raped New Year's Eve.
Somebody
up in Oakland at your show in Oakland.
Somebody will get raped though.
Well, yeah.
On New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve?
Thousands of people are getting raped.
Yeah, I was about to say, people get raped all the time.
Every day.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Even Tuesdays.
Even on a Tuesday. Sundays.
I bet the numbers jump.
I mean, Friday or Saturday, I get it. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, let's go back. Because I was listening to this NPR episode about this dude that had, crazy seizure situation going on. Mm-hmm. Right, he was in it.
Yes,
did you hear about that?
I heard it.
Yeah, this crazy seizure situation going on.
He had a traumatic brain injury, and basically, he had a traumatic brain injury. He was a normal guy, had a traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. Started
telling this
dating
story.
a woman.
His partner took the story over
because he didn't have seizure. He wasn't having seizures. He had a traumatic brain injury. And basically, him and his girlfriend lived happily together. Mm-hmm. And one day, the FBI knocked on his door.
You're missing something. He had a surgery where they removed part of his frontal lobe to stop this. I think it was seizures. But anyway, or maybe it wasn't. It was something. They did that when he came out of the surgery. He felt fine, but he was like feeling more sexually charged with his girlfriend, and she noticed it, like he's fucking me more often than he used to. That's weird, but I don't mind it.
Right.
Fast forward a year, the FBI was there. He'd been looking at child pornography. It had been
The FBI said, "Do you know why we're here?" And he goes, "Yes, I've been waiting for you."
Go upstairs.
He couldn't stop himself from, and it's not.
But he wasn't that way before the
No.
operation?
It wasn't that way before the operation, and not only did it change what he was interested in, it changed him into a child pornography aficionado, it also changed his ability to say, according to this radio program, changed his ability to say, I won't do that. That's wrong. I'm not going to. I refuse to do that, because his frontal lobe with the judgment centers were there, that was gone or whatever.
Do you convict him? Because we both know the answer.
If it can be proven that he wasn't that way before the...
It was proven. Or at least
it's proven. They can't exactly prove it, but do you convict him?
Yep.
You do anyway.
Because he did the act. You got to.
Yeah, he did. They convicted him.
But they convicted him with a reduced sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of the day, no matter what it was before and after, there's that 5% chance that you can't prove that shit. Maybe he just used the operation as an excuse.
I don't think. I think they were on the first rationale, which is the act is the act.
The act is the act.
Whatever reason you do it,
right?
Well,
you did it.
The most interesting thing about that article was, that radio program to me was, there's another guy that says, when we think about everything, we're thinking about things in the wrong terms, whether he was responsible or whether it was his brain. He goes, everything anyone ever does is their brain, their physical, biological brain chemistry. So Hitler, the most extreme example you can come up with,
had his reasons.
There was something wrong with him. Definitely, obviously.
It was a cry for help.
At the end of the day, even if you're sick and it can be proven that you're just mentally sick, once you do the act, either they're going to send you to the sick jail or the other jail.
Right.
It's not like we can't be like, we can't convict you.
We got to let you go because of the operation.
Right.
Good luck with the kitty horn, sir. Sorry you hurt your head.
It is crazy, though. It's like that a certain number of people, whether it's from brain injury or they're born to their attraction sensors are fucking disrupted, or a certain percentage of people are serial killers. Why? There's no evolutionary
Nobody
reason for
ever
that.
ends up like zapped. Scott Baio. Remember that movie? The telekinesis.
I remember the poster.
Remember?
I sort of feel
basically freaking he was the nerd at the school, and he was playing with the rats and whatever and the mice or whatever, and experiment, the beaker drops and big explosion, and he hits his head because of the fumes, and he wakes up. He has telekinetic powers. He doesn't want to go out and rape people. He's like,
the good
right.
Yeah. You're saying you got a brain injury.
That's a different movie. Yeah. Slightly different movie.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Why isn't it?
That's
what
I would like.
Nothing good ever happens.
Nothing good.
Your father beats you a little too hard.
Although
one day, and
sometimes
then you wake
you'll
up
find out like that.
Stronger.
They did. I feel like there were examples of people hurting themselves, and then like they can speak a language that they didn't know they could.
No. You're thinking of there's a kind of traumatic brain injury where you wake up and you have foreign accent syndrome. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Where you literally pick a foreign accent from out of the sky, and your brain, you're like, I don't know why I talk like this. And it's real. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Yes. I like that we're basically just talking about other podcasts.
Yeah, right. All right, fair enough.
So I heard this one podcast. Don't look for it, because I wanted to bring up another one.
How many podcasts have you guys done together?
82.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit, man.
Wowzers,
we're deep in the game right now.
And you put them out every week?
No.
Yeah, we put them out every time we can.
Yeah, and it's been better recently. But
the natives are restless, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They, our podcast listeners are abusive. They're abusive.
Finesse, who did you marry? Tell us about your wife.
I married a beautiful girl.
9-year-old girl.
9-year-old girl.
I can't help it.
Actually, she's 11, but still beautiful. I married Idris DeBarge. She turns out to be actually the love of my life. But it's
is
only
her father
2 months.
L. DeBarge?
Her father is L. DeBarge.
That's great.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, I was making a joke. You're kidding.
No.
Oh, shit. That's so weird.
No, that would suck to be named DeBarge but not be one of the DeBarges.
None of them.
Because it's like, so what's up with Tito? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Great when bits become
15
reality.
of them. And
so El DeBarge's daughter is your wife. Interesting.
El DeBarge is your father-in-law.
Is my father-in-law.
You did meet the parents with El DeBarge.
Did I meet the
Did you did the meet the parents
Yeah.
with El DeBarge?
Yes.
I know very little about El DeBarge.
I honestly
to the
do
beat
too.
of the rhythm of the night.
Oh, yeah, I know that song.
That's not Gloria Estefan?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is your father-in-law Gloria Estefan? No. Miami Sound Machine?
They were huge, though, right?
Absolutely.
And
They were the Jacksons that were talented because all of them could sing and all of them could write. So it wasn't just like Tito and Jermaine and all those guys. But they were like...
Who were you shitting? Which Jacksons were you shitting on?
Michael. That dude was a hack. Honestly, couldn't sing, couldn't dance.
I think Michael's one of the most talented performers.
What? It's not even one of. It's off.
Ever.
I watched the Bad documentary again last week.
All the rest of them were okay.
Right.
So to me, when it came to DeBarge, they all could sing.
I think Joe Jackson's one of the great motivators of our day.
Absolutely.
I've always said that.
I say if you ever want to be successful when you're young, you need somebody like
that's what's funny in the Michael Jackson
Ike Turner.
In the Michael Jackson documentary, they actually say making a Michael Jackson nowadays isn't even legal. Which is true because you think about what he got away with.
He was like Martina Navrat, or who was that? Nadia Comaneci's gymnastics coach. It was like
Bella Caroli.
What it takes to get people? Did you guys see the HBO thing when they was talking about Trophy Kids or something?
Yeah, I watched the other night.
Yeah, you saw the black dude with his son that was one of
the football player.
Yeah, the football player.
Yeah, these parents are the biggest fucking pieces of shit, and they're so insecure and desperate that one guy calls his 8-year-old daughter, 9-year-old daughter, a stupid bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Calls his great.
Beautiful.
Great work.
Great work.
Congratulations.
I did really good. I just showed them a picture of my wife.
She's probably showing someone a picture of you somewhere right now.
No, she's not.
No, I don't.
She's definitely not.
I don't.
Neal backs you up now. No,
you married Jackie Mitchell's kid?
That's close, too.
Oh, that's funny.
But, this is I just want to give her a shout-out. She's a great girl. Second time around for me. First marriage lasted about 18 months. And are you in a serious relationship, Neal?
It's getting that way.
Ask me. He doesn't.
He is.
He's not quite on the record yet.
Okay.
I'm in a relationship. Yes.
How long?
A year.
A year. How old are you?
I'm 34. First time.
Let's be real. Comics they are the worst to have a serious to just maintain it. We're great for 2 months.
What do you think the
problem
is? Why?
Well, here's the thing. We are the only type of entertainer, in my opinion, that not only just women, but everybody, they get that instant gratification of how they felt after your show, and they have the ability to go up and touch you.
Yeah,
you don't have 5 bouncers like rappers.
Right.
There's no big guard gate in between your stage and your audience member. They come up right after you after the show.
Right, your magic is still coming off of you.
Yeah, we've always talked about you have 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes
my
to get
mother who just passed away of cancer.
Right.
Or, dog, you made me forget about my cable bill. Or,
right.
And they just want to, and next thing you know, well, what do you want to do next? Let's go have a drink. They want to keep that feeling because once they go home, it's over.
Totally.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. And because I don't think my wife will ever hear this, and she won't have anything to be nervous about, but
if you're listening,
don't forget about Twitter, by the way.
If you're listening right now, you turn this off, Mr. DeBarge.
That's right. Turn this off. So here's the thing. Say you're not doing theaters yet. You're still doing clubs, but you're doing pretty good at clubs. But let's say you average 250, all right? So let's say you're me. You get 300 people per show. Well, out of that 300 people, 10 people are going to stay after that show, and they really want to talk to you. And out of those 10 people that want to talk to you, 3 of them out of the 10 look good.
Right.
They're good. Now, 1 out of those 3 are very determined to either keep in touch with you that night or come back to another show.
That is funny. It's hard to say no.
You got some hard analytics happening.
Man,
I've
done the numbers over the years.
I like it. He's crunched the numbers.
So
he's fucked the numbers.
I've done the work that you haven't done yet.
So, fellas, it's a given. Your Friday and Saturday shows are usually your most packed shows. Out of those 10 to 7 people that stay after, that are women, and some of those women have boyfriends, some of them don't, but the women, but there are at least 1 out of that 7 that you're like, because 3 you're saying, I'll do that, but 1 is like, I'll do that back right now, like no questions asked.
Right.
So when you average like 4 of those people per city, and then you go to those cities twice a year or sometimes only once a year, but you do it for 10 years, you have literally watched somebody grow up with you. Because they always come and support you.
Right.
So every time you go to a city, you say, I got to call Stephanie because she's going to get 15 people out.
Right.
And Stephanie will do anything for you. But now Stephanie knows that you are not the relationship guy.
Right.
But whatever's going on in Stephanie's life, she's not going to miss your show. And she's waiting for you to give her the cue that, hey, want to come back to the room? Or whatever.
Because you did 6 trips ago.
Now, say you've been doing this business for over 5 years, 6 years, and you're really good at it. The better you get at it, the more people, that one number becomes 3, you know, and then you're doing that, and you're there all weekends.
You have to say
shows.
no an average of 19 times per week.
Now, not only are you saying no, you leave. The better you get, the more weekends you leave, and every time you come home, which is a Monday through Wednesday, you don't know your girl like you used to know her. She doesn't know you like you used to know her. The fun part of the week is gone because you spent it in another city.
Right.
And and you don't want a girl that's not working, that's always going to travel with you. That's out. So by the time you come home and just try to get comfortable again, you're off again to another city. And the next thing you know, you're just like, you know what? I know this blah, blah, blah better than I know my own wife. Because she's adjusting to you and you're adjusting to her. You want to try to get sex in or you want to get sleep in. It's just tough.
That sounds like what happened in the first marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this one I know. This one I know the game a little bit better. I know what to expect. And
it's also just a decision, man.
I literally thought that.
What is monogamy?
Yeah, it's just like.
I literally thought the whole marriage thing would make it easier, and it just doesn't because it allows people to really just come at you and say whatever they want to say. And they say, but I know you're married. And they wait for you to be like, yeah, I'm married. I can't.
Right.
So if you're not strong enough to say that, then you're always in
they're
trouble.
they're like, I'm down to keep a secret. They can say a thing like that and then just laugh it off and go, no, ha, ha, ha.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a decision. I think it's a decision. It's also like just what kind of person do you want to be?
Right.
It's like I was thinking about quitting smoking, and the way I quit smoking was like I'm just not going to smoke anymore. And but it was also I also think if I smoke 1, I'm going to smoke 10,000.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I can't. It's literally like not possible for me to smoke a cigarette.
There's this interesting thing that Dan Savage says. You know, Dan Savage, the sex columnist.
Okay.
He says like monogamy. If you have only fucked it up like 5 times, you think I'm terrible at monogamy, but actually you're pretty good at monogamy because you've only fucked it up like 5 times in a 10-year relationship. Which is an interesting thought when you think about like monogamy is only valued in an unbroken streak.
Yeah,
like, loyalty that's never been broken.
Yeah, it's not like they don't go like the last 10 years you've been wonderful.
You've been good. You only fucked up twice the whole time.
Yeah,
because the truth is monogamy is actually for increasing intimacy with a person. It's not actually for like having a long streak.
Right.
It's for like
for trust.
It's for trust. I've been with this person.
I'm telling you I'm not going to fuck anybody else.
Yeah.
And I would like to not be a liar.
And here's the difference for me the second time around. What you learn the first time after fucking something up and the emotional distress and depression that you go through.
And you say you fucked it up.
Yeah, I fucked it up. And she kind of fucked it up. We fucked it up. We fucked up a great thing. But what you learn is the failure of it, because we're so successful. You're successful at telling jokes. It's taking you to the next level. Once you really come to the realization, I just failed at something miserably, and everybody knows because everybody's patting you on the back saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened," whether they mean it or not. You don't know. You don't want to go through that again. So that decision that you made to stop smoking cigarettes, it's the same with fucking chicks. I don't want to. I know how this plays out. Mm-hmm. I know I got to pretend like I'm the only one in the room. I got to tell her to be quiet. I got to time the phone call to say goodnight. I got to hope she doesn't call me because we really connected on this weekend. But then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, don't call me. But she's going to call me or she's going to text me.
Right.
And now you got to watch your phone. I don't want to go through that.
I'm tired of that.
So it's over for me.
You're saying just fuck prostitutes. I get it.
You know what? Keep it professional.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
As Ving Rhames once said, he was talking about like just being on the road, and he goes, "Look, brother, I mean, pussy's pussy."
Almost makes sense.
Yeah, what he meant is like, just fuck your wife. It's like, how great is it gonna like? What's gonna happen?
Gonna get any better?
Yeah, it's like
You're not gonna perform any better.
Yeah,
and can you actually wait? Yes, you can.
Right. Absolutely, just jerk off. Which goes to, but this goes to the pedophilia thing, which is you didn't want to cheat on your wife. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, wait a minute.
You just sometimes couldn't help it.
How can you say it's a decision? With your previous pedophilia argument, I mean, how can you say it's a decision?
I'm a very... look, I know you guys are smelling blood right now.
Okay, we got him! Yes!
You guys are smelling blood. I've never been more calm in my entire life.
It's true, he looks very calm.
I've slowed my heart rate down.
You're an apex predator,
I've
Neal.
worked with David Blaine on this.
When it comes to arguing, Neal is at the top of the
I've
food
only
chain.
inhaled twice since you guys made your point.
Moshe, you called him. I was just thinking like,
No, I'll tell you what to do. I'm willful. I'm like a hard-ass willful person. Like, if I say I'm not, I just will, like, decide. Once I make a decision, I don't expect everyone else to be like that.
In other words, if you were attracted to children, you would not fuck them. And I respect that.
Yes.
I respect that.
Yes, but I don't expect everybody else. It's like fat people. It's like I'm the right weight. Fat people are not the right weight. They can't fucking help it. They don't want it. They just literally can't control how much shit they put in their mouth. I happen to be hyper controlling. Like, my personality is hyper controlling, so that makes it easier. So that's my first
you
point.
Walking around just eating lettuce.
That is true.
Just
a head of lettuce. Yeah, just a big old
Like
head
an
of
apple, like an old person. Like a fucking coach.
And every time I see him, I'm like, he's so LA.
Yeah.
I always say that.
Sprinkling curry on top of a head of lettuce.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Cayenne pepper. It's way better.
That sounds good.
And so it's also like you didn't want it. It's just you couldn't help it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I
Now,
say
back
about
in the day,
pedophile.
when
That's
you
why
first
you're no better
started-
than a pedophile.
When you first start out, sometimes with the chicks, you just can't help it. You're like, fuck, these are the spoils for getting paid $1,500 for the weekend or $700. These are the spoils. You're supposed to do this. But then after a while, you can just hear other people's stories, whether it's outside children or disease or whatever. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy. I got to be more careful. And then once I hit SNL, it really, I was really more careful.
I have to pause you at outside children. That's just a wonderful turn of phrase.
You like that?
Outside children.
Outside
you know, I got
like
my
outdoor
children
cats.
And then my outside.
Yeah.
I got my real children.
Yeah, I got my real children, and then I got the ones in the yard. The ones I
But
put
they're
up.
the same amount your children.
But
No.
black people, we voted on that. We
is
said
that right?
we were going to start saying
Outside children.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's what I love. Jay-Z and Kanye had that song about their kids, like how they're going to treat them on Watch the Throne. And it's like, they both have kids. They just don't have them by their main girl.
That's funny.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, you motherfuckers, that's still your daughter.
Right
Jay-Z
now,
has
there's
a
daughter buying the CD, listening to it. Like,
Yeah. Jay-Z's
Papa.
had a daughter in St. Thomas for like 6 years.
Right.
It's just not the one with Beyonce.
Right.
And Kanye has one too.
And it's not the one that you can Google and see an image of.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's in the
back
contract if
then he
you want
was
to get this
fucking-
money each month.
Yeah.
Then he was
You
fucking
take
ugly
no
girls.
Stay
too,
out of the
so
picture.
Yeah.
That kid's not as cute. But you're
Um,
saying you're on once you hit SNL, something.
Well, once
shifted.
I hit SNL, I was fucking more, but I was more careful. I was fucking people of the same status or with something to lose.
Right.
I just wasn't trying to fuck who was
Married
trying to go home
people.
with me. Yeah,
Married women
married
and
head writers. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Tina
that's
Fey.
that's a joke. But then once I left and once I left SNL, I got married and that didn't work. And I said, okay, don't fuck up your life and don't get distracted with chicks because you can never make a lot of money and fuck chicks all the time. Because Neal will tell you this is true. How many times have you had to pretend after you had a great weekend with somebody because you got multiple chicks that when the next chick call, you got to start that shit all over again? Like, oh, and how was your day?
Yeah, I'm. This is a
How can
crazy
you
thing
that's
to
funny.
admit.
That's funny.
This is a
Productive.
crazy thing to admit. But there have been periods where I've been with a few different girls, and I was gonna write down in an app information about them, like their dad.
Oh man!
Like what they like sexually, and
that's
it's like
rough.
maybe just date one girl.
Right.
When you get to what they like sexually, I think you're getting into the weeds.
Well, then you're into some real,
It's just hilarious.
some real dirtbag
It's a
shit.
hilarious idea, though. You just like slap a girl in the face. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
And like,
I thought you were Cindy. I'm so sorry.
That shit should be a movie when the chick walks in and because you left your computer on and you fell asleep, but you left it on the screen where you had every girl,
a different page.
and you just click on it. And everybody had a certain file of what they liked.
Yeah.
and
Have you
who
heard
their
about-
parents were? And all
Have
that
you heard
stuff.
about text bombing?
What is that?
Is basically like you take all the girls in your phone and that you're fucking, and you text them all one by one. You just you write down, "Hey girl, what's up?" or whatever. That's
Yeah.
how I always do it. Hey
Yeah.
girl, what's up?
Yeah, that one
It's just
that's
like I'm their
tried and
best
true.
friend, you know.
Yeah.
And then you copy and paste, and you just send, Tina, Sarah, Julie, Renee. I
Yeah.
love you. You're from around the way. You send
Yeah.
it all, and then they, two of them get back to you, and you're like, Tina, Renee, and then you kind of like go towards Renee, and then you know what I mean? Until you get like paired down, you'll have 2 or 3 girls like, well, I'm down to come over, and then the one you really want to come over comes over, maybe
Right.
another night, honey, and then you have it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I believe there's tons of guys, and that what I don't like about that is that girls think every guy does it.
Right.
It's like, no, not every guy does that. It's just dirtbags.
Right.
Like me. No, I'm kidding. I literally don't. I
do
it.
That.
But not every guy does. I don't expect you to do
it. I've been saved. I'm a reformed dude. But I love the social part of our business, and I love women, and I love the interaction of meeting people, making connections. I just ain't trying to fuck nobody no more. That shit's a headache.
Right.
Once you nut,
it's a lot of work.
Once you be like, then you're like, okay, where are my shoes?
It's like having
it is a crazy feeling to know that you're that big of a product of your biology. When you're just like, and you fuck someone you know you shouldn't fuck, and then the second you're done, you're like, oh, I gotta go.
Right.
Like, and then you just know, like, oh, I'm not even a person. I'm just like,
it's also
a walking penis.
Your own disgust with how easy it is.
Right.
Where you're not like, where you're just like, I got to get out of here, and then you justify it. And you're like, okay, and then you're over it.
Yeah,
literally, you don't think about
talking about just like what we're talking. We just driving home like, what's wrong with me?
Oh yeah,
that's a terrible feeling.
And then you turn the corner, and you're like, I'm great.
Yeah, awesome.
Takes you a day.
I'm a great person.
you were covering one. Yeah, I used to describe it. I had a bit. I would describe it as like you just want to push that person off of the bed, not to hurt them, but just to like make them go away.
Yeah.
Like you want them to just disappear and they're not there anymore.
Louis C.K. used to do the opposite of that joke, which is like, he's like, I just want to go immediately. Me having sex is just like, taxi.
and my joke used to be, I'd be like, and I'd get up and I'd be like, ooh. And I'd walk to the window of whatever the hotel was and I'd crack it or whatever. And they always say the same thing. Why are you doing that so cold? And I say, oh, you want to take the stairs? And so
that's terrible. That's terrible. There was a joke.
Okay.
There was a joke on speaking of SNL. I don't remember who used to do it, but it was like porn reviews. I think it was Kevin Nealon. Yeah, the porn reviews were always the same. It was like interested, very interested, and suddenly lost all interest.
Yeah, that's Kevin Nealon. I'm pretty sure. All right, and what do you like about being married?
Well, what I do love about being
Are
married,
you traditional? Do you consider yourself like a Southern dude? You're from Atlanta, right?
Yes, absolutely. What I do like about marriage is that my wife is so ready to be a good wife that I don't want to do anything to mess that up. So when I say I have it great, like she's straight wifey. She wants to be a mother. She wants to mother me until she has kids, but she's not too like, you know, what is the word when they just clingy?
Clingy,
yeah. But did you eat? Oh, well, you need to eat. Oh, well, take this. Oh, I put some tangerines in a Ziploc bag. Like, she's that girl.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, she's smart. She goes to work. She makes money. But she's been waiting to be a good wife to someone all these years that I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to be like, Finesse, she loves you just as much as you love her. Don't mess this up.
Yeah.
So that's the difference the second time around is I feel like I know the answers, so don't mess it up. This is her first time, my second time.
Right.
So I think men need to really have that one serious relationship, bad breakup before they go into the real one. Because if they mess up twice, then they just know they jerks or assholes.
Right.
But they really say, okay, this is the woman I want to have children with. This is the woman I want to make money with. This is the woman I want to do everything with. And that's great.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Nobody wants to
Do
buy
you ever
condoms.
get to say, like, baby, don't do that? Meaning, like, you're like an OG. Like, baby, I've been married before.
I've done
this.
that.
Doesn't work.
I've walked down this road.
Well, here's the thing, and I always tell guys, like, when you think you found the one, don't give ground on anything that you know is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're a smoker, don't say I'm going to quit because I know she hates it. Because
Right.
the minute you fuck that up, she's going to always be like, and it'll irritate you so much, you'll only want to hang with the women that think smoking is cool.
But what if you say,
So don't give ground on. Don't pretend to be something you're not
Right.
up front. Be that person and let her conform, because a woman is supposed to change for her man. It's not supposed to be the other way around.
why?
Because that's just the freaking man Bible. It's in the Bible somewhere.
Yeah,
It is.
Oh,
It
good.
has to be. If a man is going to change to fit his wife, then he's not a man, and B, I mean, he's a man, but he's going to be miserable. He's going to be
The
miserable.
most convoluted theology. I mean, he is a man. What I'm
He's-
saying,
he's
a
gonna
pussy.
be miserable.
That's,
And
I
he's
gotta
lying.
say, this is black dudes can get away with this.
So
This
if
is
you
in the
say
black community.
if
It's
you
like
say
you
up
can't.
top-
We could never he and I could.
Because my thought is like both people should be changing.
I think we could get. I think white people do this in the South. I think black dudes can do this everywhere.
People. Are you religious?
Yes.
Are you Christian?
Yes.
And have you been a believing Christian your whole life?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Until I met Tom Cruise. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Me meeting
What's
Tom
your
Cruise?
relationship with God all about?
Man, God is great. God is the higher
Neal's cracking his knuckles, by the way, right now. He's sharpening
It's all
a knife.
good. God is the higher power or the inspiration that you need to have faith in, because if you just totally believe on my own merit, my own talents, and I made this happen, that's great. But there ain't no amount of pain that somebody can give you one day physically that you won't be like, holy shit, oh God, make it stop. Because something will bring you to your knees. And a lot of people find out early, you don't need to wait for something bad to happen to believe in something that strong and to believe that that exists. So why not believe in something that is pure and then that is real, in my opinion, as God?
Are you still strongly atheist?
Yeah,
Neal?
absolutely. I know he is.
Yeah. It hasn't changed, though.
You don't know.
Yeah, I do know that about
These
Trust
months,
me, I know that about you.
these 24 months of doing the Champs podcast has
There are a couple of people I met twice, and I said, he does not believe in Jesus.
Oh, that's
That's
interesting.
hilarious.
Well, Jesus, I mean,
yeah.
you know.
But you know, most black people, we're born that way.
Oh, absolutely.
You
I mean,
know.
I don't know about born that way. I would never say that, but
no,
black people believe in God.
Absolutely.
I once talked to Kamal Bell, actually, because he's like, you know, he's like an intellectual kind of like left-wing dude. I go, you believe in God? He goes, look, I'm black.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
even at my level of intelligentsia and like, you know, castle in the sky, yeah, I'm a black guy.
I'll put it to you this way. If black people or Africans were not beaten and treated the way I mean, the most horrific thing that could ever possibly be done was done. And if it wasn't for
You're talking about when they canceled Martin. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely.
Dang. I mean, very good.
But when it comes to that was a good one. That threw me
Thank
off.
you. No, I know.
That was good.
I know
I'm
you guys are acting like that's.
I'm laughing in my head and trying
Like
to
that's a
fucking
regular.
keep my
You guys are
thought.
acting. Everybody's
because
acting
you
like
got
this is
me.
a regular joke.
No, it was
It's a hit joke.
That was
I mean,
not.
it
That was that shit. I'm laughing like.
You know why it
he
was
got
so
me.
good, Neal? Because
Go ahead.
You had to wade through the like he was talking about some real shit. You
Yeah.
had to
Right.
throw that aside.
I don't
like
care.
shut.
And
Like
I'm-
you had to like juice
Slavery
it,
is
go
where my
around.
sense of humor begins. I
Once
never
you
feel
say
more
slavery,
alive.
his wheels. His
That's what I'm
comedy
like. I
wheels
literally like
start
wake
spinning.
up in the middle of the night like a wolf. Did someone say slavery?
But white people came with the Bible and said, "Hey, believe in this." And so we grabbed that Bible and said, "If I believe in anything, that's gonna make it better." And that shit started getting passed down from generation to generation, and that's where it all stemmed from.
But it
So-
doesn't. That doesn't. That history doesn't bother you. That it's still a
That it was
religion
forced
that you're
upon you.
No, and neither does the facts. Neither does like the common sense and rationale of you can't populate the whole world from two people. You just can't.
Right.
There ain't no way two white people gonna give you Asians.
Right.
You just can't.
Yeah.
But you choose to believe that I believe this religion,
So that's actually
and I'm not a fanatic about it. I'm not a.
That's
you
actually a pretty sophisticated way of being religious. So my brother's a rabbi, you
Right.
know, and he's a rabbi. He's an Orthodox rabbi, but his whole thing is like, if you're here to believe in the Bible, literally, we're
Right.
we're in a different religious sphere. I can't have a
You'll
conversation
never get
with
me
you.
to believe that a snake crawled around
Right.
and started talking to someone.
See,
and
that
said,
stuff
"Go
I
ahead
do
and do it."
believe.
Yeah, I just
But
don't
I
believe
won't
it.
believe that.
Yeah,
then,
but that it's a religion
Yeah.
is all religion is allegory
religion
and
starts
stuff
from
that
yes.
and you know symbology they're supposed to get lessons from about how to live.
yes.
Neal?
Metaphor.
Go ahead, Neal.
What do you want me to counter? I'm not going to get into an atheism Christianity.
No, I just you actually have softened though, because when we first started doing the podcast, the religious stuff would activate you.
Oh, I don't. I'm not like. Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
It's like I don't. Whatever.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, it's like whatever gets you through the night. Like
But I think that's the way everything should be, especially
Yeah,
when it comes
agreed.
to religion. You know what I mean?
Every single thing should be worn like a loose garment.
Right.
You know, everything.
Yeah.
Even politics. I hate saying you're one thing and then people try to convince you like blah 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 blah. Like I can say, oh shit, that Obamacare really was fucked up the way it was
you
rolled
can't-
out.
Right.
You know,
Right.
even I can say that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, you know, y'all just saying that shit because Obama black. No, the shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
But do I think the whole concept of
can we try to introduce something to bring healthcare down and make it cheaper and maybe everybody can have a crack at getting it? So everybody's not rushing to the emergency room, the whole 46 million people that's uninsured, that's going to drive the cost up anyway. Right. We got to put a cap on this shit. Let's do something. I'm not that person that's going to say we ain't doing shit.
But even what you just said about driving the cost up, most people don't know that. That's the thing. Is you've got people trying to argue against Obamacare. It's like they literally don't understand health. It's like when people go, our taxes are too high. You go, how high should they be? Right. And also, how high are they relative to other Western countries? Right. And they have no fuck. They just go, I don't know, but I know they're too high.
Right. Beyond that, well, because that's politics are not emotional, and people's reactions to them are.
Right.
It's like beyond that. Like with the people who will be fighting against Obamacare that would be personally, they need it.
Right.
Yeah. But they don't even know that they need it.
They're not. It's like the people that are on Medicare. Yeah.
Did you see the Kimmel bit? There was a bit on Kimmel where they would go up to people and they would go, "Are you for Obamacare?" And they would say, "No, I'm not for Obamacare." They go, "Great." Or what do you think though about like a single payer? Basically, they would just describe.
It was even simpler than that. It was, "What do you think of the Affordable Care Act?" And they go, "That sounds good.
That I like. Anything affordable, I like."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all emotion and not real.
I also very rarely see people's minds changed.
It's so crazy.
Meaning, you know what I mean? Like in an argument.
100%.
In an argument. Which is what
I stopped having conversations about Israel, period. I won't talk about Israel with anybody unless I like really trust them, just because it's always the same conversation.
Yeah.
It never goes in. I've never seen a pro-Palestinian like activist person be convinced by a pro-Israeli person and vice versa. It's just people who want to argue, and so I just thought I have no interest like this.
And people are comforted by their own beliefs.
Right.
Like it's like if I built my house around that belief. I can't rearrange it. If you take that out, my whole thing's going to fall.
That's not to say belief doesn't change. It does. It just takes a long time. It doesn't happen from someone schooling you at the 101
You
cafe.
can plant a seed, and then 7 months later, someone says something else. And like, you know what? I might Google that.
Maybe I was wrong about
what
that.
I don't like is that people either putting up fake websites or sending out literature. And this is documented, and people going to campuses saying you don't need health insurance, like don't get it. And I'm like, when would you ever tell somebody don't get health insurance, especially if they can afford it? When would you ever say go with nothing?
Right.
Yeah.
Just go with nothing. And that's what I think is wrong. I think that's crazy.
Well, what's going to happen is one of those people is going to just straight up die.
Yeah,
or they're gonna worse
whether
than,
you're for
I don't
it
think,
or not. Or
yeah,
you don't
I don't.
Like this policy or
they
not,
won't.
Why is your message? Don't get nothing.
They'll be bankrupted. The people that go, because I've read a stat recently that like young people are against Obamacare now. Mm-hmm. Which whether the poll was legit or not, I don't know. I think it was CNN or New York Times or somebody. But it was like because they're misinformed, and it's also like. They don't know that people get bankrupted by fucking getting a brain injury.
Well, that's why I always I say about people who argue about welfare moms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, people that are against welfare recipients almost always are people that have little to no exposure to welfare recipients.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, I don't ever, like.
We were just talking about this. I just left Utah. I just saw Bobby Kennedy Jr., so the son of Bobby Kennedy or Robert Kennedy. I just saw his son. He's so passionate about clean water.
Yeah.
He has his organization called Water Keepers. But he's so... I mean, he broke it down so well where I was like, I see where if you don't like this family and this guy, you would want to do something because there's no way that this charismatic man that just said everything he said, if you just hate his belief or what he thinks, I can see where people hate them. Because the people that are arguing their points are nowhere near as talented as what this guy just showed me and explained to me and made me say, you know what, that makes a lot of damn sense. So I think it's the politicians that say, no, I'd rather take the bribes and the money in my pocket to say cigarettes and nicotine won't hurt you. I can see why that industry will hate people like that, or all the corporations who are dumping and polluting the water and would say, oh, shit, this damn Kennedy guy again.
I saw this documentary, Hot Coffee. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You saw that?
No.
It's so fucking crazy.
Remember that story about the woman who sued McDonald's because she got, and it was punchline. This woman was fucked
severely.
That's the thing they don't say. And the coffee was 147 degrees.
190 degrees.
And
they'd had 400 complaints about people getting burned from McDonald's hot coffee. But that wasn't, I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But then they started going into this thing where they started talking about these, it sparked this political movement to stop quote unquote frivolous
lawsuits.
They used her kind of silly punchline thing to stop frivolous lawsuits, and then you see these billboards that go "Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse," and you and me, or at least me, would look at it and go, "Oh, those are a group of citizens who want to stop."
They ain't citizens.
No, they're just like Marlboro and Texaco and all these horrible companies, and you just go, "Oh, you're being
the best version of that. It's the worst version of that. It's when people, when Holocaust, when climate change deniers.
Careful, because the last thing, that's where my comedy starts going.
Exactly. When climate change deniers say it's a conspiracy for climate, for wind and solar,
right,
and nuclear energy, fucking conglomerates. It's a conspiracy. They've cooked the books so that they can inculcate the world with solar, wind, and nuclear. And meanwhile, the oil companies are the ones who did that.
Right.
But they go, that's Republicans do that so well, where it's just like, motherfucker.
I promise you, the way Bobby broke it down was just so genius, and I'm still saying this word. He said
it's my prerogative, right?
He said,
Bobby's the best, man.
But he said the biostitutes, and I just cracked up because the industries are so huge: the coal industry, the oil industry, the tobacco industry.
I literally didn't even know what you meant by biostitutes. Now I'm breaking it down.
He said the information that we are reading and learning from come from them doing studies against them, so that the numbers are so cooked that we don't even know that they paid for that entire
it's exactly what
thing. So everything that we're saying, and according to this, blah, 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 blah. But that's exactly what they want you to say, so the numbers can be way down here, and not what it's really supposed to be.
Scientists are literally scientists. That's the thing. It's like,
so I can pay
they are also for sale, some of them.
And those and the biostitutes is what
okay,
so I can pay this scientist to say this, but, and disagree with me just a little bit, so I can only pay this. Instead of the real scientists saying, "Are you freaking kidding? That's 300%."
And a lot of times they're not even really scientists.
And there's almost, I was watching this stuff, I go, there's almost no hope when you think about it, because by its very definition, the corporations that are funding this, they're making money, and they're funding stuff in order to make more money, which means they have money to propagate this propaganda on us. The other side, if there is a side, is just a bunch of people going like, "Hey, don't hurt me."
We don't like
a bunch of people
that's what I don't understand. It's like, I'm vegan and I drive an electric car and all that shit.
Right.
And I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because, like, I think the world's in trouble.
Right.
Literally, that's why I'm doing it. I'm not because, like, fuck you. I'm just like, dude, this is going to be bad. Like, I don't think it's going to be
proven. Eating certain things will freaking kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're doing it just because, I just want to prove it. No.
Yeah. It's like, no, because I may not have kids. I think human beings should be able to live on Earth in the future, 100 years from now. And it looks at this point.
I like guns. I like violence. I just think it makes sense. Maybe the 10 clip thing, maybe that's
I've shot. I've been shot.
Right.
I've been shot.
I got a
Have you really?
I've shot at people.
Have you really?
Hell yeah.
When?
In college.
In college?
Yeah, absolutely. I went to the
Well,
University
there
of
was.
Miami,
I'm at
bro.
Emory.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, but I'm saying, when it comes to it, here's how I think. Newtown, those were white kids. And if that didn't move anybody, I'm like, well,
it ain't.
shit.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Well,
that's that should have. If there was going to be a bottom, that was going to be it.
The whole classroom of kids, of babies, and you still say more than 10 clips is fine. Don't tell me what to do. Work on mental health issues.
Yeah.
But there's so many other things you want us to have a background check on to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't say it's guns. And I just think, you know what? You guys are just whores when it comes
to
it's
like you just want to win. That's the thing. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to win. I literally just want to have the earth around.
Well, that's what I say. Like, when I'm saying there's no hope, it's like, basically, in my mind, it's like it's a race to the finish. Like, will things get so outrageous that people will rise up and say we can't take it anymore, or will we destroy the Earth? Which thing's going to happen
I
first?
think we're going to destroy that. I mean, I hate to be a doomsayer, but even I heard a scientist the other day go like, I don't think we have a chance, because the thing that's going to, because what Republicans say now is, oh, the climate's changing. We're just, the jury's out whether it's man-made or not.
Right.
So they're just going to keep going like giving a little bit of ground,
Totally.
but then but keep fucking basing the world.
Those
I
checks are
had
real.
a grand bargain the other day.
Those paychecks are real.
Yeah, as a Democrat, I'm assuming you're Democrat or independent.
Yeah.
Would you let abortion be illegal if they changed
everything
the
else.
entire infrastructure to wind, solar, and electric?
Right.
Wait, that's
That to me is like, you want to have a
Right.
grand bargain.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Wait, but you're
I see
saying
what
that
you're saying.
would work also.
I don't. I'm
we
saying
don't even
as
know
a
if it
Democrat,
worked. It might not work.
No, I'm saying
but
we
you
know
how
it could work.
politicians say, all right, you don't want a government shutdown?
Right.
If you give me this,
Right,
then
a
I'll
quid
give
pro
you
quo.
this.
Like, here's the grand bargain. The grand bargain is
Right.
tax cuts or
I'm
raise
saying when
taxes
they
or cut
switch over to
entitlements.
wind, solar, and blah blah blah. We don't even know for sure that would help.
Let's assume it.
assume
It
it would?
will.
It will help.
No,
But
it'll
here's-
definitely help, but it may be too late.
Right.
What I'm saying is, as someone on the left, would you be willing to give that up? Because I got to say,
have to say
actually,
yes.
I would say yes.
But
I
here's
wonder
the-
what women
but-
think. I'm curious to
But
hear what
here's the
women
thing
would
about Republicans that cracks me up all the time, that nobody really breaks it down to the simple basics. Don't tell me how to choose my health care. Stay out of my life when it comes to health care decisions. Okay. But you better not get an abortion.
think. Right.
No,
Like you-
it's
like you're
it's
telling
so
them-
wildly
Like
hypocritical.
you're
Yeah.
telling them, you're telling women, just have that baby. No matter what, just have it.
Right.
We'll figure out what happens.
Yeah. No, they
And-
don't say we'll figure out what happens.
Right.
What
They're saying is we're punishing you because we're so religious.
Or not only were you raped, not only are you poor, not only can you not afford it, but have it, and we just took away your food stamps.
Yeah,
Right.
Now you can't
That's
beat it.
another thing I
It's
want to
so
say. Like,
crazy, right?
hey,
You
if
can't
you make abortion widespread and legal, and the thing is, welfare checks are going to go down because there will be less unwanted people
how
in
can
pregnancy.
I mean, how can you look at the entire pie and then say Meals on Wheels, child aftercare programs, food stamps, and any type of Medicaid or whatever? They won't say it. They won't say Medicaid and Social Security, but they are saying it. But they won't
Right.
say it.
Right.
And the dumb Democrats won't force them to say it out loud. Just say it.
Right.
But how do you say all those things need to get cut, but everything else stays in place?
Right.
And you don't think that it's no longer a black, white, or a black minority. It is poor and rich.
Yeah.
And I think rich people don't understand that if you keep making poor people poorer, we're coming to your neighborhood.
I know,
You
that's
have
what I'm
everything.
waiting. I'm not going to go, but I really want these white people. I want these rich people to just get. I think it's going to be like a third world country. I think
Yeah,
it'll be
it's
like,
like-
Well, but
Bolivia or
that's
something
what
where
I'm
it's just
saying.
gated communities and
Right.
But the
or the
thing-
Philippines or something.
I just left South Africa.
We're gonna wrap up, by the way.
Okay, great comedian David Cow but he lives in this gated community where the wall is so high
Right.
and barbed wires on top of it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, what? He's this is the best neighborhood. This is one of the best neighborhoods in South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, we've
oh.
engineered it. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Right.
But when you leave and go, 1 mile in either direction, you're like, oh shit, lock the doors.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'm
And it's
saying-
like, is that what you want?
Is that
You're
what you
winning.
want
You
here?
are. I guess you're technically winning, but
Yeah.
at what
But
cost?
what do you win at the end
Yeah.
of all things?
Sometimes I think when they say that communism failed, it's just that they tried it too early. And
Yeah,
that it's going to take
I had this
another
conversation today.
100 years.
This isn't. We're beating them. The race is. We're basically. They just tripped. It's working in China. It's capitalist communism, but it's basically
Right.
it's not like a total failure. That's another
Right.
reason why America's like we're worried about the Chinese. Like it's not a fucking horrible
But
thing.
you know what? How's their hip hop? How's their hip hop game?
Garbage.
Garbage, son.
You heard me, Chinese people.
All right, we're calling out all mainland
We gotta have
Chinese.
Finesse back to talk about shooting people.
Yeah, man, that was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
that
used
was
to walk
good.
around with a 22 in my boot.
Oh, back in
that.
the Wild West.
Shit.
And yes,
You were a
it was-
cowboy.
It was called Liberty City, Miami.
Yeah, I know it from
Oh,
I know it
Finesse,
from
that
Grand
was-
Theft Auto.
Finesse, that wasn't you. That was a video game, man.
Oh yeah, that
No,
wasn't
that-
me. That
Yeah.
wasn't me.
Good dude. Thank you very much for coming on.
Hey man, I'm on Twitter at Finesse Mitchell. Thank you guys for having me, and
Thanks,
hope to
man.
see you guys in